Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning with the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living Morning Meditation. I'm Barbara Kane, and I'm a licensed practitioner, one of many in this beautiful school of thought where we know and accept that we are all the creation of the one spirit, the one life, the one love. And so this morning, for our meditation, I will do a reading from 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and we'll have silent meditation for about 15 minutes with a musical background. And then once we've completed our silent meditation, I'll pray us back to the moment. And then we'll have the service at 10:15. So I want you to join me in delighting in this beautiful day where all the plants are completely watered, the sun is out, and we have so many things to be thankful for. And this morning's meditation includes a psalm, and it says, "As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God." I realize that one of the reasons I may not have received a more definitive answer to my prayer, more swift and specific manifestation from any spiritual treatment, is because I did not persist in my expectancy. I hoped for, rather than had faith, I would receive the good I desired. Now I realize that there must be a certain acceptance and expectancy that is built upon or sustained by faith. Because of faith, I must accept the fact that my good is and persist in expecting its manifestation. My faith sustains my expectancy at all times. Faith is an entirely individual and personal attitude. It flourishes within me. I realize that I may have as much faith as I will, regardless of anything and everything else. The only limit to what I may have is the faith I do have. And so I invite you to meditate on the idea of expectancy and knowing that your faith is sufficient to manifest exactly what is right for you in your life. And I invite you to take a deep breath with me and let it out. And close your outer eyes and take another deep breath and let it out. And relax your body, starting with your head and down to your shoulders. Relax your arms, relax your torso, relax your back and your abdominal area. Take another deep breath, blow it out, relax your hips and your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, and your feet. And now just release everything that came before and dwell in this now moment as we meditate on expectancy. Now I invite you to start bringing your attention back into your body and into the room. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and open your outer eyes. Maybe stretch a little bit. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And now I'm going to read this blessing. As is my faith, so is my acceptance. And as is my acceptance, so is my expectancy. And finally, it is my expectancy, as is my demonstration experience. Through the broad avenues of expectancy created within me by my faith, all good comes to me. And so I know that this is the truth for me, and as such, the truth for each of you. And I invite you to explore this further during this week ahead. And I thank you so much for joining for this meditation practice this morning. And you've got 7 minutes to go get a fresh cup of coffee or open the door and breathe in that beautiful air. And we'll see you at 10:15 for our regular service. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand. I'm gonna stand up for joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No.
Come on. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. Yeah. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. All right. One life living is you and me. Yeah. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out.
Another beautiful opening video. Thank you very much, Heather Abbott, and welcome to each and every person who has invited us into their home this morning through the power of live streaming. You have tuned into the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living Sunday celebration service, and we are very blessed that you have chosen to do that. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and privilege of being this community's spiritual director. Our center, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, is part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. And Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life. A global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries worldwide. Our community is the spiritual home for a diverse group of people who are seeking a deep and abiding connection with each other and with the God of their understanding. We are a powerful spiritual community, lovingly committed to a world of acceptance, compassion, peace, and joy. We gather together to express love, celebrate life, grow spiritually, practice radical acceptance and inclusion, and connect with one another. What we are really about is providing a supportive community where we can explore our own spiritual path and connect to the divinity within us and around us. Formally, our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God. We do this within a sacred and supportive community that welcomes everyone just as they are. Our mission is the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. We do this through celebration, service, study, fellowship, and the energy of unconditional love. Our vision is a world that actually does work for all. We do this by consciously practicing the truth of our oneness and unity with God in our everyday lives. You are welcome here, no matter where you are on your spiritual path. So let's begin with a little conversation. Let's talk Gourmets for God. Gourmets for God is a unique community builder and fundraiser for our center. The events are created and hosted by TCSL members and active community members. They involve inspired meals and other activities of all kinds. Now, the host registration ended on July 12th. We have 6 events this year. The first is a bowl bonanza and house concert combo. Friday, September 11th, with the dinner at 6 p.m. and the concert at 7. The hosts are Letha and Miles Costin. The location is Blue Jay Point at Falls Lake in Raleigh. The seats that are available, there are 25 seats available, and the minimum bid is $50. For dinner, you will create your own bowl, featuring chicken, shrimp, and pork proteins, grains, and veggies, complete with Caribbean, Asian, and Mediterranean themed topics. Mix and match in whatever ways your taste buds inspire you. Then settle in for an amazing concert by award-winning singer-songwriter Jessie Powers. Her multi-generational music provides the perfect ambiance for the evening with a blend of Joni Mitchell, Adele, and a hint of India Arie. Feel free to bring your own adult beverages. Sweet treats and coffee will be available throughout the concert. It will be a memorable and magical evening for all. The second is a movie night. It is on Saturday, September 19th. The hosts are Rebecca Fouts and Kyle Morano. The location is in Cary. They have 15 seats available, and the minimum bid is $30. They say, join us for a fun evening. We will screen the wonderful movie, The Sheep Detective. Dinner will include shepherd's pie along with a vegetarian option. The third event is magical and mystical messages from higher conscious beings. This is on Friday, October 2nd from 6:30 to 9:30. The hosts are Vincent and Eileen Jenna. The location is Holly Springs. There are a maximum of 10 seats and a minimum bid of $60. Step into an extraordinary evening where the boundaries between the physical and the infinite begin to dissolve. Join internationally renowned psychic therapist, medium, spiritual teacher, and interstellar liaison Vincent Jenna as he shares inspiring messages from higher dimensional intelligence and deceased loved ones. Every message is guided with wisdom, compassion, and purpose, offering clarity, healing, validation, and a deeper understanding of your soul's journey. Prepare for an unforgettable experience that will expand your awareness, open your heart, and remind you that you are never alone. Heavy hors d'oeuvres and through that, they will accommodate any kind of dietary restrictions. Number 4 is a game night with taco bar, Friday, October 9th from 6:30 to 9:30. The hosts are Heather Abbott and my own self. The location is in Cary. There are 20 seats available and the minimum bid is $30. You know it. You love it. Our annual game night is always so much fun. There will be many card and board games to choose from. Expect lots of laughter as well as delicious food and just enough competitiveness to keep the game spicy. Speaking of spicy, we will offer up a delicious taco spread with all of the fixins, and there will be options for dietary restrictions. Number 5, pizza and Jeopardy with the Carnses. This event is on Saturday, November 7th from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Get that as an afternoon event from 1 to 4. The hosts are Diane and John Carnes. The location is the Pittsboro Farrington Village area. There are 8 seats available and the minimum bid is $30. Join us for pizza, salad, potent potables, and we will play the wacky and wonderful game of Carnes Jeopardy. We will have categories just for our gang, like Fill in the Karen Drucker lyric and Science of Mind wisdom. It's all in good fun and packed with both laughter and challenge. Prizes for the winners. Unique nature trail walk available nearby if you would like to do that at some point in time during the afternoon. Heavy hors d'oeuvres will be served and they will also accommodate dietary restrictions as needed. Number 6, DIY Thrifty Gifts for the Holidays. This event is on Saturday, November 14th from 12 to 4. The hosts are Barbara Kane and Carol Cross. The location is Durham. There are 10 seats available and the minimum bid is $35. They say 'tis the season for giving and giving and giving. As much as we love giving, do you sometimes run out of ideas and perhaps out of funds? Come join us to make some gifts that are heartfelt and beautiful but don't cost a fortune. Plus, presents always are more meaningful when you make them yourself. We'll start with a simple, healthy lunch of soup, salad, and sides, including vegan and gluten-free options. Then we will clear the tables and turn the space into a present-making workshop. We will have multiple stations offering different types of gifts, most of which are not specific to one holiday. Plus, we are adding spiritual touches to some of our common gifts. So these are not your same old gifts. You will go home with a number of different items as well as instructions about how to make these things at home so you can keep making them for years to come. Some things we will be making during the event are more like stocking stuffers, decorations, gift toppers, or hostess gifts. However, we also have ideas about how to combine or expand upon them to make a more substantial present. Come explore your creativity and knock off some of those gifts off your list while enjoying the company and inspiration of your community. Our silent auction began last Sunday. In Gourmets for God, you're bidding for a seat at an event. If the event holds 6 people, then you're bidding for one of the 6 seats. Anyone can bid, and there is no limit to how many different events you can bid for, and you do not need to be a TCSL member to participate. Then come the events. And as I have just stated, they run from August 14th through November 15th. Speaking of August, here is a save the date for Sunday, August 2nd. And the invitation is to plan to join us at the Powell Drive Community Center for service, and then make a plan to head on down to Scooters at 911 Sago Court in Raleigh from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock to support our own Karen Daly and her band, Karen in the Middle, Boys on the Side. It will be a wonderful evening of great music and wonderful fellowship. Then plan on joining us again the next Sunday, August 9th, also live at the Powell Community Center, as we celebrate our August birthdays with a flower dedication and a lunch bunch at a location to be determined. We are still looking for some people to powerfully step into the spiritual practice of sacred service by volunteering to assist us in the setup of our sanctuary at Powell Drive Community Center this summer. We will be back there for 2 more Sundays in August, Sunday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 9th. It includes bringing in the equipment and other bins from our cars, setting up the chairs and tables, including the altar, the coffee and tea space, and the welcome table. As a community, we have always had a plethora of assistance at the end of the service. We now need and are asking for some assistance before the service. Heather and I arrive around 8 o'clock to be ready for the meditation. For those who are willing to assist, we'll try to have the coffee on by the time you arrive. Please consider signing up for one or both of the Sundays over the summer. Send an email to info@trianglecsl.org to let Heather and I know that you are willing and able to participate in some sacred service. Thank you ahead of time for your willingness and your generosity. Beyond those dates, Sunday, August 2nd and 9th, we continue to look for another space to gather together moving forward throughout the year. If anyone has any suggestions, please contact Heather and or Reverend Dusty, me. Currently, for all of the other dates in August and the rest of the year, we will be online only. If and when that changes, we will absolutely let everybody know as soon as possible. Until then, we will continue to do what we do and bring forward deep and thoughtful messages and music each Sunday via StreamYard. As always, the meditation is at 9:45 and the service at 10:15. This is a save the date announcement for a special ordination ceremony. We will be celebrating the ordination of Reverend Chaplain Jim Rigsby. The celebration will take place on Saturday, September 26th at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Raleigh, located at 3313 Wade Avenue in Raleigh, North Carolina. Please RSVP to jimrigsby@gmail.com. As we continue to announce, our 2026 Wednesday evening services have changed. They do, however, continue to be a midweek pick-me-up. The new concept is called A Year of Value. It is a journaling, self-study program in which you will receive a quality each week on Wednesday by email. That quality will arrive with all kinds of resources to grow that quality in your lives. By focusing on the many different aspects of leading an exemplary life, we believe it supports participants in making 2026 truly a year of value. To sign up, please send an email to info@trianglecsl.org indicating your desire to participate. Before moving on, we would like to thank Barbara Kane for her beautiful meditation this morning. Thank you so very much, Barbara. And now, please welcome her back to the stage.
Hello. Let's see. The theme for the year of 2026 is open at the top, and our theme for the month of July is whole, no matter what. Reverend Dusty's message today is a world that values all of who we are. And this morning, Heather Abbott and Carol Cross will be assisting in the blessing of all faiths.
The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exception. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is.
And so it is. And now I'd like to invite you to close your outer eyes as I speak a blessing on the service. First of all, I invite us to recognize the one infinite spirit that is in, as, and through everyone and all sentient beings on the planet. I invite us to recognize also that this spirit, this energy, this love, this light is constantly creating new galaxies, constantly creating new ideas, constantly creating new opportunities for expression. And I welcome these ideas, these creations as a part of our what we're entitled to as children, as creations of this one spirit. And this is true for me, this is also true for the congregation of the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. And I speak a blessing on all of the members of our congregation today. And I speak a blessing on Reverend Dusty, who brings her generosity, her love, her talents, and her genius for teaching and for expressing truly her best self as a beacon of light for us all. And I speak a blessing on Heather Abbott, who is incredibly creative, who is an IT and streaming genius, and who is always supporting this center in many ways, known and unknown. And I'm so grateful for her service. And I speak a blessing on Sandy Hemingway as he brings his wonderful, beautiful gift of song and creative expression that always lifts and touches us. And I know that the truth for all of us is that we hear exactly the right thing today, the thing that opens us wider, the thing that touches our heart, the thing that makes the day even more beautiful. And I'm so grateful for this, and that this is the truth for ourselves and for our center. And so it is. And today's reading is by April Connor. She says, to create a world that works for everyone and all of creation, we must create a world that values all of who we are. This may sound simple, but it's not easy. Who decides what works means, and who decides what everyone includes? We live in a world that seems full of division and strife, yet we have the tools to work toward a more inclusive, just, equitable world where everyone has a place to belong. And so it is. And now I'm so excited to have this opportunity to present Sandy Hemingway.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Since the topic for the month is wholeness, this song came to mind, and it's one that probably everybody listening knows, but hasn't probably heard very recently. And in the privacy of your own home, please feel free to sing along if the mood strikes you. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine, enough to last. If you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. No, not just for some, oh, but just for everyone.
Thank you so very much, Sandy. No truer words have ever been spoken. What the world needs now is love. Simply love. And if I hadn't spent time on this talk, I'd probably just say what he said, just what he said. And then we'd go on and do our affirmations and have Babs do the benediction and call it a day. But I do have a couple of things I'd like to say today. So welcome to those of you who have just turned on your televisions or computers at home. We're very blessed that you have chosen to join us. The theme for the month of July has been whole, no matter what. My message today is entitled, A World That Values All of Who We Are. As a global family, valuing all of who we are recognizes that every person possesses inherent worth that is not dependent on nationality or culture or race or religion or gender or ability or age or wealth or achievements. It asks us to see one another not as competitors for limited value, but as an interconnected human beings whose difference enriches our shared future. This way of living would involve several commitments from each one of us. And they would be, number one, seeing each person's full humility. If we did, we would value people not only for what they do, but for who they are. Their dreams, struggles, gifts, history, relationships, and potential. Number two, honoring diversity while recognizing our shared humanity. Within this way of living, our languages, traditions, beliefs, and identities would not be barriers to belonging. Instead, they would be understood as different expressions of the human experience. Number three, creating spaces where everyone can contribute. In order to do this, we would all have to recognize that every person has strengths to give. A global family values not only the leaders and the innovators, but also the caregivers, the artists, the teachers, the builders, the farmers, the elders, the children, and those whose contributions are often overlooked. Number four, practice mutual responsibility. Practicing mutual responsibility means that if we are to truly see ourselves as one family, then another person's suffering is not someone else's problem. Hunger, poverty, violence, injustice, and environmental destruction become shared concerns because they affect members of our common human family. Number five, listening before judging. Valuing all of who we are means making room for stories that are different from our own. It requires humility, the willingness to learn from experiences that we have not lived, but others have. And lastly, number six, balancing dignity with accountability. Every person deserves respect. Yet belonging to a global family also means being responsible for how our choices affect others. We really can uphold human dignity while addressing harmful actions and seeking justice. Ultimately, valuing all of who we are shifts a fundamental question. Instead of asking who deserves to belong, the question now becomes, how do we assist every person to flourish while honoring the dignity of everyone else? For me, this idea of wholeness, both individually and collectively, and both internally and externally, holds the key. Wholeness is initially about individuality. First, we differentiate and clarify all of the parts, not only within ourselves, but within the world. Then we attain wholeness with those distinct parts by bringing the whole back together and embracing all of it. The challenge we have in seeing the whole through the parts is that uniting a divided consciousness into a consciousness of wholeness largely depends upon us experiencing the wholeness that is always around us, and that is not always very easy to do. Deepak Chopra says wholeness lies beyond any kind of split or fragmentation. Wholeness is everything. So if we could see the outer world as a distraction, or perhaps as an illusion, as many ancient spiritual traditions did, we could then focus on the one reality, God, which is always present and has within it everything else. God is whole, and wholeness is everything. Wholeness is also about balance. Within a context of wholeness, we have an equal amount of respect for every aspect of our life. We don't favor any one part at the expense of any others. For example, we don't spend an inordinate amount of time really building up our physical bodies at the expense of our spiritual body. Out of this context of equal respect, we do really allow values to emerge which may make one more valuable to us than another. However, at the same time, we recognize that the contrary is also worthwhile. For example, if we value commitment as a virtue, then we also honor our opposing desire for freedom. This ability to honor, to hold, to really be able to express both, as in yin and yang, are expressions of the nature of wholeness itself, which is the nature of life. Life is inherently whole. Wholeness is also relationship. We are individuals, but we are also part of many dynamic systems: family, culture, race, or even the universe itself, to name just a few. Now, because of this interconnectedness, neither the individual person or the individual aspects or parts of ourselves can be viewed or understood separately. The elements interact on a one-to-one basis, but each interplay ultimately reverberates throughout the entire system, affecting all of the different parts. We are part of a synchronized, organic, interdependent whole, like the organs of the human body. Everything is linked to everything else. Everything, in ways that are big or small, affect every other aspect of the whole. The bottom line is that nothing exists solely on its own. From the smallest atomic particle to the grandest galaxies, every animate and inanimate being in our universe is defined by its interconnection to everything else. If any of these links are broken, at any point, something will change or simply not operate any longer. Each point is an integral part of the unfolding of life itself. The challenge is that while all things are part of the whole, we live as though all of these things are separate from one another. The illusion of separateness has caused just about every problem, conflict, and war that humanity has ever known. To get beyond the illusion of separation, the invitation is to imagine all of the things in the entirety of creation making up one interconnected force, or one interconnected net, or one interconnected web. In this wholeness, all things are interdependent and complementary parts of the same system. Each and every part is significant and important to the whole. We, human beings, are connected to each other and to the world around us. Our interconnectedness, our interdependence is essential to our health, to our survival, to our success, and even to our existence. in order to step into a world that values all of who we are, we have to recognize the basic truth of the interdependent structure of life. And when we do, the entire complexion of our lives will change. The invitation is to begin to really appreciate all of the connections, all of the moments of our interdependence. We're invited to step into a deeper level of responsibility, a deeper level of accountability, and a deeper level of cooperation in order to really be able to create this world and to powerfully step into it. Each of us can enhance our ability to step into a world that values all of who we are through the recognition that whatever transformation we hope to achieve in the future will only be possible through collaboration and synergy with others. There can be no other way for it to happen. Transformation is only possible through embracing, cultivating, and deepening our experience and our understanding of interdependence. We also have to understand that we're not just interdependent in our families or in our small communities. We are interdependent on a collective global basis. Today, there isn't a country in the world that provides for all of its needs. They all import from others what they need and export to others what others need. It's also true that anything that happens in one country affects its neighbors. With every potential choice, policy, move, and action, each country must consider its impact on the entire world. A world that values all of who we are asks us to recognize the fundamental relationality of everything. It asks us to attend to and to nurture the mutual influence that we have on each other, both individually and collectively, as the religions, cultures, races, communities, and countries that seem to separate us, They cannot. Interdependence is both a fact of life and our orientation to it. Whether or not we consciously engage with it, it continues to happen all around us. Interdependence as an orientation asks us to make a conscious choice to align ourselves with life. In order to step into a world that values all of who we are, we have to begin with the truth of who we all are, as unique and divine expressions of God. We have to embrace the truth that something greater than ourselves exists and that we were created by it and out of it. And through that golden thread, we are connected to each other in ways that cannot be denied, in ways that cannot be broken. Each of us can enhance our ability to step into a world that values all of who we are by remembering that we are the presence of the divine, and that the presence of the divine is the presence of the allness of possibility. Just because the world has always been a certain way doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. If we want the world to transform, we cannot continue to behave, think, believe, say, or do what we have always done. We have to make different choices individually and collectively. And the truth is that anything is possible. M. Scott Peck, in his book, The Different Drum, tells a story about an old monastery that had fallen into decline. Once filled with young monks and visiting pilgrims, it had become the home to only 5 aging brothers. They had grown discouraged and irritable, and the warmth that once held their community together was disappearing. The abbot visited a wise rabbi who lived nearby and asked for guidance. The rabbi listened quietly and finally said, I have no advice for you. I can only tell you this. The Messiah is among you. The abbot returned and shared the rabbi's words. The monks began wondering what they meant. Could Brother Thomas be the Messiah? He was often impatient, but he was also remarkably faithful. Could it be Brother Philip? He was quiet and awkward, and yet he always appeared when someone needed help. Could it be the abbot himself? Because no one knew, each monk began treating the other with unusual reverence. They also began treating themselves with greater kindness, for perhaps the sacred one was within them themselves. Visitors sensed the change. They returned more often. Young men once again became interested in the community, and in time, the monastery came alive. Nothing had changed outwardly. What changed was the way that the monks saw one another. They stopped reducing each person to a fault, to a habit, or to a label. They began looking for the sacred presence hidden within each and every single one of them, within life itself. Each one of us can enhance our ability to step into a world that values all of who we are when we come together from a place that honors our shared humanity, a place filled with love, empathy, and reverence, a place that is steeped in our awareness of our divinity. A world that values all of who we are asks us to harmoniously embrace one another and the divinity that is present within each one of us. Perhaps the deepest expression of a global family is that every person is seen. Every voice matters. Every life has inherent value, and each of us has both the opportunity and the responsibility to assist others to become more fully who they were created to be. If the world truly valued all of who we are, not just what we produce, not just how we look, not just what we earn, or not just how closely we fit the expectations of society, it would change many parts of that society in ways that are both subtle and profound. Some possibilities include, number one, relationships would become more authentic. People would feel less pressure to hide parts of themselves. Conversations might involve more curiosity than judgment, and vulnerability would hold less social risk. Number two, work would be organized differently. Success wouldn't be measured only by productivity or profit. Qualities such as creativity, caregiving, wisdom, collaboration, and emotional intelligence would receive greater recognition alongside of technical skills and efficiency. Number three, education would broaden its definition of achievement. Schools would invest as much in helping students understand themselves, to think critically, to create, and to cooperate as they do in standardized performance. Different learning styles and strengths would be treated as assets rather than as problems to solve. Number four, healthcare would become more holistic. Physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being would be seen as interconnected. Preventative care, community support, and quality of life would receive as much attention as treating the illnesses themselves. Number five, communities could become more inclusive. People across ages, abilities, cultures and identities would have more opportunities to contribute in ways that really showcase their unique strengths. Diversity would be valued not simply as representation, but as a source of insight and wisdom and resilience. Number 6, failure might carry less stigma. If people's worth weren't tied to flawless performance, mistakes could be more often viewed as opportunities for learning rather than reasons for exclusion or for shame. And lastly, number 7, public policy might shift priorities. Investments in caregiving, education, mental health, accessibility, and community infrastructure could be seen not as secondary concerns, but as central to a thriving society. At the same time, valuing all of who we are won't really eliminate conflict or difficult choices. People have competing needs, values, and interests. A society that values everyone would still have to decide how to resolve disagreements, how to set boundaries, and how to balance individual freedom with collective well-being. Valuing people doesn't mean agreeing with every belief or accepting every behavior. It means recognizing each person's inherent dignity while holding people accountable for the impact of their actions. Reverend Scott Aubrey says, a society is like a quilt made from many different pieces of cloth. Each piece has its own color, pattern, history, and texture. The quilt is not beautiful because all of the pieces are alike. It is beautiful because they are joined. When the fabric tears, pretending there is no damage does not mend it. Someone must examine the tear, choose a strong thread, and patiently stitch the separated pieces together. The seam may remain visible, but it can become stronger than the fabric around it. Social healing works in much the same way. Truth identifies the tear, accountability survives the needle, compassion is the thread, relationship is the patient work of stitching. The purpose is not to erase the past, but to create a future that can hold together. Perhaps in the end, this is simply more of an aspirational vision than a destination that societies fully reach. But I believe that moving even just a little bit in that direction could meaningfully change how people experience themselves, each other, and the world. For me, a world that values all of who we are is a world that works for all. And while I cannot speak for everyone, this is the world that I would love to live in. And so it is. And so it is. I invite everyone to close your outer eyes and turn within as I speak a word of prayer for each and every single one of us this morning. As I close my eyes, I recognize that presence, that power, that spark within me that I arrived on the planet with. I call it God, but it goes by many different names. And by whatever name we give it, it is the presence of unconditional love, of peace, of joy, of creativity, of oneness, of freedom, of abundance. And I know that I am one with it, created by it out of itself. I am all that it is, even though it is so much grander, so much larger. And I know this just can't be my truth. It has to be the truth for each and every single one of us listening today or listening in the future. In fact, all sentient beings on the planet. We are all divine, unique expressions of this one being, of this one power, of this one creative force. And it is from that place of unity that I speak these words about, and for each and every single one of us, truly knowing that we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, that we arrived on the planet with everything we need to create the world that we would love to live in. And so I claim ease and grace for each of us around tapping into that ability, for allowing ourselves to see beyond the fog of the world, to see beyond the struggles, the challenges, the divisiveness, the confusion, the fear, the doubt, the worry that sometimes appears for us in our human lives, and to know that the presence of God is always there, always ready, willing, and able to assist us to come back to that awareness, to come back to center, to come back to that deep and abiding connection that we have with God, with life, and with one another. Because when we do, everything changes, everything is raised, everything is lifted up, everything simply works. I claim ease and grace for us around participating in that, in creating that world, in being the person that brings that forward, even just a little teeny bit, toward being that world, toward being the love that Sandy sang about today. Because that presence is love itself. And it is truly what we need to bring to others, to our communities, to our families, to our states, to our countries, to the world. Then and only then will this world be a world that works for all. And it simply requires us showing up, knowing who we are, seeing that presence in everyone else, as the brothers were reminded to do. This is living a spiritual life. And I, for one, am so willing. I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. That my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken, and so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. I invite everyone to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. It is now time for our conscious giving. And this is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to continue to be a beacon of light and warmth and love in the Greater Triangle area for ourselves and for others. We affirm that this offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are 3 ways that you can give, and they're here on your screen now. You can visit our website at trianglecsl.org. You can text the word give to 919-629-9148, or you can send a check to PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. So I just invite everyone to turn within one more time as I speak a word of blessing upon this offering, truly knowing that it is an opportunity for us to focus our attention on all of the ways that we are truly abundant, and to know that as we do so, we enter powerfully into the flow of life, into the giving and taking and sharing and receiving that is the bedrock of this idea of really participating in life. And so I know that this gift really supports this community and really supports the one giving. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Grateful for the gift of each and every single one of you, and for your gifts, and for God that is at the center of all of it. And so it is. And now, please welcome back to his piano the awesome and wonderful Sandy Hemingway.
Thank you, Dusty. Thank you for that wonderful message. And on the subject of wholeness, it's like I started playing piano at church when I was 11. And so my musical spiritual journey spans a whole lot of time. And this is one of the very first songs that I played way back when in the Baptist church. And it's probably familiar to many of you. It's called Pass It On. Only takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around can warm up in its glowing. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you spread His love to everyone. You want to pass it on. What a wondrous time is spring, when all the trees are budding. The birds begin to sing, the flowers start their blooming. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you want to sing. It's fresh like spring. You want to pass it on. I wish for you, my friend, this happiness that I have found. You can depend on this. It matters not where you're bound. I'll shout it from the mountaintop. I want my world to know the life of love has come to me. I want to pass it on. I'll shout it from the mountaintop. I want my world to know this life of love that's come to me. I want to pass it on.
Thank you, Sandy. That was really lovely and really lively and invigorating. Thank you so much. And now we're going to do our affirmation for July 26th. So I invite you in the comfort of your home to please join me. This is a call and response. I will say the first line, you repeat it after me, and Reverend Dusty is going to join me for this. I am committed to a world that values all of who we are.
I am committed to a world that values all of who we are.
I know that valuing all of who we are means that every person possesses inherent worth that is not dependent on anything outside of themselves.
I know that valuing all of who we are means that every person possesses inherent worth that is not dependent on anything outside of themselves.
While I am an individual, I also recognize that I am part of a synchronized, organic, and independent whole.
While I am an individual, I also recognize that I am part of a synchronized, organic, and interdependent whole.
I affirm that each and every part of that whole is significant, important, and more beautiful than I can even imagine.
I affirm that each and every part of that whole is significant, important, and more beautiful than I can even imagine.
I enhance my ability to step into this world by honoring our shared humanity and living my life from love and understanding.
I enhance my ability to step into this world by honoring our shared humanity and living my life from love and understanding.
As I do so, I encourage others to do so too, and anything is possible.
As I do so, I encourage others to do so too, and anything is possible.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now I invite you to close your outer eyes once more today and join me as I speak a benediction on the service. We have all been raised in our consciousness and in our love and understanding for our place in this great oneness, this great wholeness. And I invite us all to use that better, more complete understanding of who and whose we are to bring an added boost of love and joy to those who are working toward goals in their lives, goals of wholeness, goals of accomplishing something, goals of greater knowledge, goals of better understanding of themselves as part of this universal community. And I know that we have this expanded love for each other through what was taught to us today and how we experienced it. And so I know that we go forth into our day, into our family, into our communities with even more love and light and joy. And so I release these words into the law of love that only ever says yes, and so it is.
So it is. And so it is. Just take a moment to thank Heather Abbott for all of her work in the background of today's service, and to Babs for her beautiful meditation, for taking on the positions of platform host and practitioner du jour, and for Sandy for his beautiful music, and of course to each and every single one who joined us today through live streaming. And perhaps we have a few good mornings from the beloved community. Diane and John Carnes are saying hello, good morning. Jamila Kelly is here. Good morning, everyone, she says. Good morning from Amy Ludwell and Martin Ludwell. This is some love from Cary, and I'm not sure who it is. And here I am saying hello. Hello, good morning. That's Carol and the Rainey family. Hi, friends. And once again, Amy, thank you for the wonderful meditation. The Flannery family is here again. Thank you so much for joining us. Marianne Atwell Hardy is present in the house. Thank you. Dennis is here and says, good morning, blessed community. Good morning right back to you. And Amy is continuing. Sandy, your music is always a true blessing. Thank you for always putting your heart into the music you deliver to us. I echo that. Thank you very much, Amy. And Linda Rapon from the Pacific Northwest, my friend Linda, thank you so very much for joining us. Have a magnificent week, everyone. Put on your calendars, and hopefully we will see you at the Powell Drive Community Center on Powell Drive in Raleigh next Sunday as we begin a new month. And I look forward to seeing you there and just hugging each and every single one of you and feeling the love in the room. Even though I know it's here and I know it's present, it's really even better when we're in the room. So I love you. Have a great week.